Well, Marea has featured Zoë Modiga in the second track for his forthcoming new album on the romance of being named Ra. We speak to them when we return. I don't know. I usually sit at the couches for the sit down. So, round table? Okie dokie. Desire, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good, thank you. You're speaking to Ntokozo. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, hang tight. We're going to be coming to you in a moment.
Fabulous.
Well, Marea has released a second track titled Ra from his upcoming album. The song features South African jazz singer Zoë Modiga and focuses on the state of the planet and the impact of human interference. Desire joins me now to discuss this latest project. Desire, thank you so much for your time and thank you for joining us on our program this morning. Very quickly, the theme around the song itself, Ra, talk to us about that, because I understand that it speaks to the planet and our interaction as human beings with it.
It definitely speaks about our interaction and our impact on the planet, but I think what we both wanted to highlight was our perspective as Africans. You know, I don't think that's a perspective that has been emphasized, especially from a spiritual perspective. So the song relies on that.
All right. Well, it's obviously a track mentioned in the album on the romance of being. And essentially, you are exploring what it means to be alive, what it means to be alive as an individual, what it means to be alive in a community. But what else can, lovers of your music, fans of your music, expect from this upcoming album?
They can expect a lot of experimentation. You know, I think the album takes different twists and turns. It's one long journey, and I think people can expect an urge to surrender.
An urge to surrender to what?
The music, you know, to the rhythm. It's like how you need to surrender to life and life's rhythm. You never really know where it takes you, but you know, or you have to trust and be faithful that you'll arrive and land safely.
All right, well, talking of surrendering and sort of just allowing yourself to go with the flow of life, this collaboration with you and Zoë, I think fans of her music and fans of your music are looking at this collaboration as a sort of answered prayer. But I get the sense that it was a long time coming. But talk to us about coming together as the pair and what drew you to her sound and, wanting to have that incorporated in your album.
You know, I've been a fan of Zoe since I think she was like 13. We met in high school. And so we always kind of premeditated for like over 10 years to make a song together. And I think finally this song came, and through guidance, we invited her for dinner, and the song then happened.
Well, let's talk about other songs on the album on the romance of being. We have mentioned here Ezulwini, Be Free, Makuku. Let's talk about Ezulwini. I mean, what sort of themes and ideas were you trying to explore there?
I was trying to explore what it means to be in heaven, or what heaven means, and kind of like how that intersects with the feeling feelings we get through the erotic. And I think I always, or currently, my main thinking is that the erotic is a form of the spirit to touch itself, just like how the cosmos and all the different nodes always intersect and move together and then part ways. So it's kind of thinking about heaven more as a state rather than a place.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about, just listening to you now, and I'm also thinking about how, other people have sort of described your music as sort of being a mouthpiece for African voices, for, choirs and spirits. And talk to us about how comfortable you are with some of the titles that have been given to you over time as a musician, and the kind of music that you're offering to listeners.
I think the title I am most comfortable with is the title of being a vessel. And I think through being, I can be representative of a lot of voices and a lot of different experiences, because I always kind of give myself fully to whatever feeling I receive, whatever song I get, whether it's something I've lived or not, it will be something that is true when I embody it. And I think with this record and with my music in general, I prioritize and protect and cherish the soul of music. It's something that I really, really, really value, and I hope that people can open with their hearts and open with that place, that beautiful space in their consciousness where music like mine and many other talented artists is meant to touch.
Yeah, your music has also been described as one that has, healing qualities. Is that something that is intentional when you're creating your different offerings, this idea that it is, in its own way, intended to bring healing to those who engage with it?
It is. It's something that I not so much claim, but it's always something that I put out as an intention. I always intend for my music to heal. And I think, love is one of the most healing elements. It's one of the most healing entities. And I always make music from a place of love. Love is a main theme. Even in my work as a healer, I have to love the idea of people living well, and I have to love people's ancestors and my own in order to fully carry out that work. So I think the music is definitely made with love, and I'm hoping that that love could be a healing love.
Yeah. We talked about the other tracks on the album, Ezulwini, for instance, Ra, your collaboration with Zoë Modiga. I want to talk about Be Free, which is, in essence, sort of an ode to the queer community. And I think the timing of this album, and when we look at just, in general, developments globally, we see Uganda passing, anti-homosexuality bills, and the public outrage that has come about because of that development. You're creating music that is for the queer community. Talk to us about that, and how, in essence, it reinforces that group and that voice trying to stand up for itself and of course, to press forward.
Sure, it's quite a difficult time. I was talking to one of my mentors about what's happening in Uganda, and I think what's just happened to our beautiful continent, not just in Uganda, I think culturally in South Africa as well, outside of being cushioned by the Constitution, there's still a lot of danger that queer people face, and it's a difficult thing to reconcile because people are alienated with their true essence. Their true essence is a fluid soul that should be able to allow love into their space from whoever, regardless of gender. And I always create music from my experience as a person, and my person is Black and queer, and that's a very important experience, I think, that I would like to highlight in my music. And I hope that the more music that comes out from myself and other queer artists could, counter the kind of erasure that we faced and maybe humanize us a lot more. I think humanizing us is the main goal there.
Yeah. All right. Well, the album drops early next month. Are you going to be promoting it in any way?
The album will drop. We are going to announce a big show. It's going to be grand. I can't wait to share that, and I will post details about it on my social media.
All right. Well, Desire, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. That was artist Desire Marea talking to us about his latest offering on the romance of being and his collaboration with South African jazz musician Zoë Modiga.